Hi, I'm Michelle Smart. I'm an enrolled agent, and I'm here to give you the latest on the ERC. So, as you know, Thursday, the commissioner of the IRS came out with an announcement, a news release, and he stated that after 9 months of the moratorium and all of their research and gathering of reporting, says that only 10 to 20% of the ERC claims are low risk. 60 to 70%, he claims, are very high risk or fraudulent, and the rest are moderate risk. The response in the accounting community has been somewhat mixed, but mostly the question is how in the world could he come up with those percentages? That is not possible. If you know anything about the 941 and the 941X, you know that that information is not on those forms. The only way that it's obvious that they're fraudulent would be if the 941X showed more wages than the wages reported on the original 941. And so there is a great doubt within the accounting and professional community that this reporting can be in any way accurate. So the professionals, the attorneys, the CPAs are writing more and more letters to the representatives asking for their support and continuing to get these things processed. However, due to the information on this bulletin was that the moratorium would continue. And Workful, if I can say his name, the IRS commissioner, said he's tossing the ball back to Congress and asking them to say when we should end the moratorium. Then again, Congress never told him to start the moratorium. He started that on his own. So God only knows when this whole mess is going to end and when they're going to clean this up and process the forms. The IRS did not have the infrastructure to process these forms. 941X is not e-filed. You cannot e-file that form. So everything's got to be scanned in. There's no way to just glean information and make a report on this. So I don't know where this information can come from. On the 941X form, which is where you claim for the ERC, it simply stated you qualify for the ERC. It doesn't even say how you qualify. The IRS would have to have, for the gross receipts reduction qualifiers, they would have to have the quarterly gross income of the person who's qualifying by gross receipts. They would need to be able to compare that data. They can't even answer their phone. How are they getting this information? It's not anywhere in any tax return, the gross receipts reduction from the quarters in 2019 to the quarters in 2020 or 2021. They don't have that information. So there's no way to come to that conclusion. As far as suspensions go, I have worked mostly in California, and California was shut down massively. I know people who didn't even open their doors for 6 weeks due to shutdown and the requirements, which is they couldn't have very many people in a room together, and so on and so forth. It just, the restrictions were very severe. So what happened also the day after this news release came out on Thursday, on Friday, Cody Edwards said he filed the Freedom of Information Act to the IRS asking for all reports, memoranda, date sets used to arrive at the 3 risk categories that are mentioned in the latest news release. So this is the information he wants to get, because I just think this is just completely incorrect. The IRS just does not have the infrastructure in order to process these forms correctly. And this has been my experience all along since the very beginning. Even in June of 2021, when I was sending in forms, the IRS said, oh, we haven't been trained yet. When I called them and talked to agents, we haven't been trained yet on how to process these forms. And then we would have the IRS repeatedly asking for copies of the 941, which had been filed multiple times, still shooting out letters to the client saying, where's the 941? We don't have it, so we can't process your 941X. This is a systematic error I found out from just across the board, the IRS not having the original 941 processed. I don't know how long that takes and why it's just broken to continue to have to send in these forms constantly to the IRS. And then I had places where the IRS mixed up the quarters. They had 2020 and 2021 and vice versa. And then they would, just a mess. I can tell you, I was on the phone for hours and hours and hours with the IRS trying to clean up their own mistakes. And when I finally got an agent who had been there 20 years, and I said, they keep telling us they don't have this. We send it 15 times. And she'd search around through their systems and, oh, we have it. Let me put it together for them. They can't quite look at A and then look at B and realize they've got everything they need in order to process. So it's just problematic there. Let's see if I have anything else for you. The former commissioner did not find this level of fraud. And I don't think that you're going to find all the fraud until you audit. You would have to audit in order to really come to that conclusion that there was that much fraud. I just don't think there is. My clients are not fraudulent. And I don't think that most of you people who are listening have filed fraudulent claims. I had someone who really wanted me to file a claim for him in Florida on partial suspension. I'm like, I just can't find enough restrictions to get you in there safely when we want to file on a partial suspension basis. California, I don't know how they could even, with all the restrictions, not just the California shutdown, which was the stay-at-home order, followed by the Blueprint for Safer Economy, and then all the county orders. There were a lot of county orders that restricted in California extremely. They were restricted. So anyway, please write to your representatives or call them and just tell them, look, I'm a small business. I'm having to close my doors because you guys cannot get this process. We started out with a shutdown, then, taking out loans, taking out the EIDL loan, and we are at wit's end. We've done the PPP and everything else, and this ERC is the only thing that's going to keep our doors open. And we're having to make these decisions now, and you're futzing around with a moratorium that's lasted over 9 months with no end in sight. So please write them, and I'll just keep trying to update you on what I'm finding out. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Sorry for the bad editing, but I am not at my normal station.